In today's video, I'm going to show you using Cricut Design Space on the iPad on how to make this intricate cut layered card. The first thing I did was I created a 5x5 card face because that's the size that I knew I wanted my completed project to be. Then I created a 10x5 rectangle and I paired a smaller square with that, 4.75 square, and I sliced that piece out. So that's going to form our border on our card base. Now I'm using diamonds and I'm just going to create several of these and overlap them on each other, also create them in different sizes so that they're offset from each other by about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just changing colors here so that you can kind of see the different layers as I put those together. And all I've done is I overlap them and then I slice out the smaller one. So that gives me a diamond frame, and then I'm just copying this frame over and over again, I think about 4 times, and that gives me that layered look I'm going for. So now I'll group all of these together, and I know I need these diamonds to be about a third of the height of this card so that I can layer them and interlace them the way that I'm wanting to. So I'm not going to put it in the exact center. I do want it to be off center just a little bit. And then I'm going to start duplicating this piece and overlapping it to make sure that each of these little diamond squares touches each other in a certain way and overlaps. That way we don't end up with any loose pieces that end up falling out of our die cut after we cut it out of the machine. So here I'm starting to do the overlapping just by copying and pasting multiples of this same design, and they don't have to match up exactly, just barely touching and overlapping in different areas at different thicknesses so that it gives variety to the card. So now that I have all of these together, I'm going to kind of adjust them to be exactly where I want them to be, highlight everything, and click weld. So when I do that, you can see all these pieces are as one, and we have a lot of little intricate detail areas here. So I don't want the Cricut to be cutting out all these little bitty holes. So I'm going in with another layer of diamonds over some of these areas that have a lot of holes, and I'm going to create another section over those with a weld so that when I weld it, those areas won't be cutting out all those intricate little holes, but instead we have some more solid diamonds when we hit the weld. So now it's time to overlap this with the card and actually attach it to here, so where we have a frame. So we're going to attach all this together and again hit the weld tool. So now that I clicked weld, I'm going to make an exact replica of a 10x5 thickness because we need to trim all those edges off of this design. So we're going to overlap these two and click slice. And when we click slice, we end up, this pink area on top is the one that we're going to end up using. And I'll delete all the rest of those layers. And as we zoom in, you can see how we have the welded card base all together. Now I also want an area to be able to include a title that is going to be see-through onto the inside of the card. So that's why I'm attaching this rectangle in here. This one's about, I think this one was 2.5 by 1/2 inch. And I'm also going to weld this piece right into the card. Then we'll create a smaller rectangle that we are going to slice out of this portion of the card. And that's going to give us a nice window, see-through window that will go through to the interior portion of our card where we'll be able to see our sentiment. So now that I have that centered, I click slice. So I'm going to take out those pieces, and you can see the white window where that's going to be. Now I'm going to start adding my font, and I chose a writing font. Now this one I already have built into my system. So first I kind of searched to see what Cricut Access had versus what I had on my system or what other fonts are available. But the key here is I chose a writing font. So here's my sentiment, and now I'm just going to scale it down to make sure that it fits within that window. But now we need to create the card base in order to write this sentiment on. So I'm going to create another 5x5 square, and then I'm going to layer that sentiment on top of this 5x5 square, and that's what it'll look like. Here, I know I want to add some foil diamonds, and it's going to be on one of those cards, but it's not going to be on the other one. So I'm creating this little section of gold diamonds that I can add foil to. It'll be another layer that I will cut out on the Cricut. And now I'm going back to my sentiment, and I'm changing this to draw. So I'm on the line type section, and we're going to click draw for our sentiment so that the Cricut will actually write that out for us. Now when we create our layers, you can see I have 3 layers of cutting. First for the foil diamonds, next for the inside of my card, and last is the complete overlay at the top. But as I'm looking at this, I know I want to create 2 cards at the same time. One is going to say with sympathy, and the other is going to say congratulations. I also need that wraparound portion, so I'm creating the 10x6 to go the other direction. I'm sorry, the 10x5 to go the other direction so that I can fold it when I mount these 2 pieces together. And then we have a large flip out area when we're ready to actually do our writing inside of these cards. So since I'm making 2 cards, I'm duplicating everything. I'm making 2 card fronts, 2 card centers, as well as 2 sections of triangles for the gold foil. And now you can see my 3 mats are all laid out, and so now I need to go pick the pen. I'm using an American Crafts pen. It snaps into here very easily. This is the 03. I'll make sure to link it below in my Amazon storefront so that if you don't have this pen, you know where to find it. But you can see it wrote very clearly. Now this part takes a while because our design is so intricate. You want to make sure you have a very sharp blade for it to cut out your card face. Now I'm taking those little pieces of the diamonds with my Xyron, and I'm just adding this foil from Queen & Company. All it needs is some adhesive. So I'm just sticking these little diamonds and rolling them on sticker side down so that they can gain some of that foil, and I can add those to my congratulations card. Now this one I'm attaching the adhesive, and then you can see I just fold the card in, and then I'm starting to layer my diamonds within the details of the card face. So it kind of has a peekaboo effect where these little gold diamonds are shining through, and then when you open the card, they're actually on the inside. So I'll make sure to link these products below. I used this light yellow foil from Queen & Company. It's so nice because you just use regular adhesive with it. Then I used the watercolor paper from Recollections. I got this at Michael's, and I'll link these products below. So why I really love this particular card style is you can have the peekaboo effect on the back and the center, and then the amount of space when you flip it completely open, especially if you're a big writer like me. So here you can see one example with the foil and the other one without foil. If you want me to create more iPad Cricut Design Space tutorials, please give this video a thumbs up. Also, let me know what other types of tutorials you would like to see below. I'll see you next time.